Hello students, now let us start with the molar solubility. So this molar solubility is nothing but the number of moles of a compound which dissolve to give 1 liter of saturated solution. So this saturated solution term is very important in solubility. So molar solubility is nothing but the number of moles of a compound that dissolve to give 1 liter of saturated solution, that is called as the molar solubility. So this is nothing but the solubility in grams per liter, that is the divided by molar mass in grams per mole. So solubility divided by molar mass, that will give you the molar solubility. Now if this molar solubility, it is denoted by S, capital S. Now if you have this equation in front of you, BXAY, it dissociates reversibly as x b raised to y plus y a raised to x minus. So the solubility product for this particular salt will be concentration of b y plus raised to x. So this is the stoichiometric coefficient here. X and y, these are the stoichiometric coefficients. Raised to x and a raised to x minus. So this a raised to x minus is to whole square raised to y. So remember this x and y, these are the stoichiometric coefficients for this particular reaction of the dissociation of the salt. So this b y plus, and what are these small x and small y? These are the charges on these ions which are dissociated from the salt. So this b raised to y plus concentration of this will be equal to x into s, moles per liter. This is your stoichiometric coefficient multiplied by solubility. So this will give you the moles per liter. Ax minus concentration of A will be equal to y into S moles per liter. So the solubility product, it is given by concentration of xs raised to x and ys raised to y here. Okay, so x raised to small x, y raised to small y. S is the solubility, molar solubility. It will be given by x plus y here. Okay, so just to make this thing simple, I will explain this by taking the example that will be more clear for you rather than this one. So we are talking about the molar solubility. If I take the example here, silver bromide, where the coefficient for this, here it is 1, here it is again 1. So x equal to 1 and y equals to 1. So the solubility product for this, S into S, because x and y equals to 1. So that will be given by S square. Second example, PbI2, it dissociates like this. So here in case of x, this is x equals to 1, only one lead ion is there, and there are two iodide ions, so y will be equal to 2. So the solubility product will be given by 1 raised to 1. This is x raised to, actually this is for this cation raised to 1 because x is 1. So this is your x, this is your y, and this is x plus y. Isn't it? So 1 raised to 1, 2 raised to 2 here because there is 2 iodide ions are there. So 2 raised to 2 here because y equals to 2. Then s equal to 1 plus 2. So the result would be here s raised to 3, 1 plus 2 means 3, and 2 raised to 2 means 2 square, that is 4. So you'll get the answer 4s cube here. Similarly, for the next, aluminium hydroxide, Al3 plus thrice OH minus hydroxide ion. So x equals to 1 and y equals to 3. So this 3 is written here. Here there is only one aluminium ion, so x equals to 1 here. So the solubility product will be here 1 raised to 1, that is x raised to x, y raised to y. So this is 3 raised to 3. So this 3 is here, and s is x plus y. isn't it? X plus y here. So 1 plus 3 equals to 4. Now 3 raised to 3 means 3 cube, that is 27, and S 1 plus 3, that is S raised to 4 here. So the solubility product for this aluminum hydroxide, that is 27S4. So these equations can be used to solve the MCQs based on this. So we'll be talking about this later on, MCQ part. Now the next would be condition for precipitation. Now here comes the new concept, that is ionic product. This thing we already talked about, the ionic product of water, isn't it? So when this ionic product of an electrolyte, it is defined at the concentration of ion under any condition. So when we talk about the solubility product, we can consider only the equilibrium concentration. Remember, for this SP means solubility product, we consider equilibrium concentration. And for ionic product, that is the concentration of ions under any condition. The product of ions at any condition, not necessarily that reaction has achieved the equilibrium. Okay, so ionic product, it is given by xs raised to x, ys raised to y. Now there are three conditions when this ionic product is equal to solubility product. The solution is saturated and solubility equilibrium exists here. Okay, because these two are equal. Second condition, if ionic product is greater than solubility product, the solution will be supersaturated and the precipitation of compound will occur. So whenever we see the precipitation, when we mix two reagents together, the solution is supposed to be supersaturated and there will be precipitation. Means if the ionic product is greater than solubility product, then there will be precipitation. If the ionic product is less than solubility product, the solution will be unsaturated and there will be no precipitation. So these are the different conditions where you will get the precipitate. So this B condition is very important when we'll get the precipitation, when this ionic product is greater than solubility product, isn't it? Now the next and the last concept from this chapter, that is the common ion effect. So this common ion, that is the ionization of weak electrolyte is suppressed in presence of strong electrolyte containing an ion common to the weak electrolyte. So the ion which is common, that should be common to the weak electrolyte. Like in case of the acidic buffer, CH3COH and CH3CONA. So the common ion here, it is acetate ion in both the cases. So here CH3CONA, which is a strong electrolyte, it dissociates completely in the solution. Okay, so this CH3CONA, it dissociates completely like this, CH3COO minus, that is acetate plus sodium ion. Now both the acid and the salt, here you can see this is acid and this salt, this both the things, they produces acetate ion, and CH3CONA, it dissociates completely, so there will be more or high concentration of acetate ions here. Now according to this Le-Chatelier principle, the addition of acetate ions from CH3CONA, addition of this acetate ion from this CH3CONA to the solution of acetic acid, it shifts the equilibrium of dissociation of this acetic acid to the left. So instead of going this way, this reaction will proceed this way. So that is the shifting of equilibrium. You have studied this in chemical equilibrium in Le-Chatelier principle. So this reverse reaction, in this case it is favored, in which acetate ions combine with this H plus ion and to form this unionized acetic acid. So the dissociation of this CH3COOH, it is suppressed by the presence of this acetate ion in both the cases. Remember, this is strong electrolyte uh, here. So this strong electrolyte, it dissociates completely, which produces acetate ion. This is weak acid, production of again CH3 acetate ion plus H plus ion. But this ionization of this acetic acid, it is suppressed by the presence of this acetate ion from this salt here. And the reaction which is expected to proceed further in the further it is forward direction. Instead, it will reverse. It will be reverse. So the equilibrium is shifted to the left according to this Le Chatelier principle, because there is more or high concentration of this acetate ion. Here you can see. Okay. So this suppression of this ionization of weak electrolyte in presence of strong electrolyte containing the ion common to the weak electrolyte. This is called as the common ion effect. Okay. Now, this common ion effect, how does it affect the solubility? Of course, it will affect the solubility also. So the presence of this common ion also affect the solubility of sparingly soluble salt, remember, which are feebly soluble in water or soluble in very less amount. These are called as the sparingly soluble salt. For example, silver chloride. Though this is sparingly soluble, but still it is a strong electrolyte. So it dissociates in this way. Okay. So the solubility product is given by the product of the concentration of the ions which are formed in case of the silver chloride. Now suppose AgNO3 is added to the saturated solution of silver chloride. The salt which is added here, which we are adding here, silver nitrate, being a strong electrolyte, it dissociates completely as Ag plus and NO3 minus. Now here you can see there is Ag plus and both are occurring here. In this reaction also there are silver ions, and here also silver ions are there. So this is the common ion which is present. It shifts the solubility equilibrium of this silver chloride from right to the left. And so the reverse reaction in which the silver chloride precipitates. So instead of going this reaction in the forward direction, it just shifts the equilibrium to the left, or rather the solubility equilibrium to the left, and the solubility of sparingly soluble compound is decreases with the presence of common ion. So this common ion effect suppresses the solubility of sparingly soluble salt due to the presence of common ion in it. Okay, so this is about the common ion effect and its common ion effect mechanism and its effect on the solubility on the of the sparingly soluble salt. Thank you.